Today we're going to talk about the equations of a circle on the coordinate plane. And the first part of it should feel familiar for most of you who did a circle in your Desmos project. In our equation, we have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where our center is h, k. Notice the minus inside our parentheses. That means that you're going to change the sign of whatever is inside. And then we have our radius squared. So we'll need to do the square root of the number on the right side. Our radius is r. So in this example at the bottom, which you should add, x minus 4 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 36. My center will be positive 4, positive 2. I'm just going to call that C for center. And my radius is the square root of 36, which is 6. This comes from the most basic circle equation, which is x squared plus y squared equals r squared, where my center is 0, 0, and my radius is still r. But today what we're doing is we're adding something a little bit more complex, where we're going to have to complete the square to get to the center. So we start with some sort of hot mess like what you have on the back. And our first step is to get everything in order. So I'm going to move the 6x behind the x squared and this negative 4y behind the y squared. So I'm going to rewrite x squared plus 6x plus y squared minus 4y minus 3 equals 0. The other thing I'm going to do is move my constant to the right-hand side. So instead of a minus 3, it's going to be a plus 3. Oops. Okay? So now I'm going to basically treat this like two completing the square problems. So if I had x squared plus 6x, to complete the square, I would need to divide 6 by 2, which is 3, and then square 3, which is 9. So to complete the square, I would want to have x squared plus 6x plus 9. But I cannot just magically add a 9 to the right side. If I add a 9 to the right side, or to the left side, sorry, then I need to do 3 plus 9 on the right-hand side. If I look at my y and I want to complete the square with that, I would need to do negative 4 divided by 2, which is negative 2, and negative 2 squared is a positive 4. So to complete the square with y, I would have y squared minus 4y plus 4, but I can't just add a 4 to the left-hand side. If I add a 4 to the left, I have to add 4 to the right. So the whole point of this is so that I can write x squared plus 6x plus 9 as x plus 3 quantity squared. And so I can write y squared minus 4y plus 4 as y minus 2 squared. And then I'm going to simplify the right-hand side. So 3 plus 9 plus 4 would give me 16. So that means for this problem, my center would be, change the signs, negative 3, positive 2, and my radius would be square root of 16, which is 4. Okay, so let's think about what we did. We moved everything so all my variables are next to each other. X squared plus 6x, then y squared minus 4. Then I divided my b term by 2 and squared it. Since I'm adding something on the left, I have to add it to the right to keep my equation balanced. And then I rewrote my expression as a complete square, x plus 3 and y minus 2. And remember, you can always multiply that back out to double check you did that right. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, first of all, the thing I noticed on this problem is those are really big numbers. They're also numbers that are all multiples of 4. So the first thing I'm going to do in one of these problems, if I have coefficients in front of my squared terms, is get rid of my coefficients. So I'm going to divide everything by 4. Because 0 divided by 4 is 0, so that's not going to change anything in my equation. So this will give me a much nicer equation of x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 8y plus 9 equals 0. And now we're going to repeat the process from the first page. We're going to move our negative 6x to be by the x squared. And then I'm going to move my 8y to be behind the y squared. Finally, I move my 9 to the right-hand side. So if I subtract 9, that would give me a negative 9. Now I need to complete the square. Negative 6 divided by 2 would give me a negative 3. And remember, I like to go ahead and write down my expression in the parentheses. So that would give me x minus 3 squared. But to get that, I would need to do a plus 9 at the end. X squared minus 6x plus 9. With y, I need to divide my b term by 2, so that would give me y plus 4. And then 4 squared is 16, so that really gave me y squared plus 8y plus 16. And now I have to make sure everything is set right on the right side. I have added a 9 and I've added a 16 to the original. So that means on the right-hand side, I have my negative 9, and then I have to add 9 and add 16. Those nines are going to add to 1, or to 0, so all I'm left with is 16. So my final equation is x minus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 16. So for this problem, my center would be 3, negative 4, and my radius would be the square root of 16, which is 4. Last one. Man, we really like these 8s and 6s. This, I don't have any coefficients in front of x squared and y squared, so I'm going to go ahead and shift my terms. So I'm going to move the negative 8x and the negative 6y. So that would give me x squared minus 8x plus y squared minus 6y, and then move your negative 39 over. That'll give me a positive 39. So once again, I like to just go ahead and do my b term. So x minus 4, because 4 would be 8 divided by 2. So negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4, and then negative 4 squared would give me 16. So I need to add 16 to both sides of my equation. So x squared minus 8x plus 16. And then with my y, I would get negative 6 divided by 2, which is negative 3. So negative 6 divided by 2 equals negative 3. And then negative 3 squared is 9. So that means I need to add 9 to both sides. So plus y squared minus 6y plus 9. And what have I added? I've added a 9 and a 16. So I have 39 plus 16 plus 9. All right. And if we do a little bit of work, 39 and 9 would give me 48, plus another 16 would give me 64. So this problem, my center will be positive 4, positive 3, and my radius is the square root of 64, which is 8. Make sure to fill in the rest of your notes. Watch this a couple times if you need to. Remember, completing the square, we're dividing our b term by 2 and then squaring it. And answer the questions at the bottom of this video. Thanks, and I'll see you tomorrow.